Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Epic or Trash. And I am greeted by my always lovely co-host, RJ from Game News USA. Say hello.
Hello. Y'all can follow me on YouTube, and please subscribe if you can. And I'm here to have some fun today.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun today because we are reacting to bad moments in locale history, which is Jay exposes Rich, the June Doc Cope, and AI girlfriend. Oh no. Oh, I couldn't even get to that last part of that title. Oh boy. Look, so don't get me wrong, I love AI because of like all the fun stuff I can do with like video editing, picture editing, because it allows me to put together content, and with helping with making music. But when it comes to this, when it comes to dating people, I prefer the real thing. That's just me though. Oh boy.
Oh man.
Oh boy. Let's go ahead and start this video.
What is going on, guys? We are back for another RTU video, and today is the day it drops. June the King documentary. It's D-Day for Dickers, or I guess Dickers Day.
Dickers Day.
There's a little bit we have to catch up on. I know in the last video, it was the last video before the doc dropped. However, there was stuff in between that we have to cover. Pretty important too. So first off, Rich tried to prove the haters wrong that he was not on a dating app. So he took a screenshot of his phone. And look at that left side. That app with the P on it, that is Plenty of Fish, a dating app. So he actually is still on it.
Right off the bat. Wow. Okay, so a little story time. It was about 2018, and I actually went on the dating app in 2018 because I was like, to me this was like a new fad for me because I wasn't aware of dating apps. Because at the time when I was a little bit younger, social media wasn't really a thing for me, so I didn't really care that much. So when I learned about dating apps, because I was like, I kind of want to go on a date with someone, I tried out Plenty of Fish first, and yeah, needless to say, I regretted that deeply. Took me forever to get my email cleaned.
To give you a counterpoint, I've actually had a lot of success on dating apps. It's worked out for me, you know. But the real problem here isn't the dating app itself. The real problem here is Rich lying about the dating app because it shows how much of a hypocrite he actually is.
It's just like, why not just say, yes, I'm on dating apps. So what?
He might be worried about the trolls figuring it out again like they did before. But here's the problem. He made himself a public figure so much, where he lives, what his business is, what he does, you know, his family, his whole situation. So that's always going to be a concern for him. And he's also thrown so much hate at people that it's understandable that there's going to be people out there that take it too far and affect his real life, because the way Rich acts with such pettiness, he breeds this kind of contempt from the viewers.
Absolutely, and not only that, but it's like it's like he also goes and attacks YouTubers to try to work with him, those who try to help him. He goes off and on and off and on, and like him and Jay especially, as they get into it. I love Jay, even though I think Kino Casino took it a little too far, in my opinion, with what they were saying. I can understand their frustration.
You know, that when his dating app got exposed in the past, you want to know something funny?
Oh boy.
He put down that he had average body type and he wanted a woman in good shape.
The guy that looks like Pizza in the Hut. His average body type.
Anyway,
I'm not gonna say anything more. Let's continue.
Now, the thing I'm more concerned about is on the right hand side at the top. There is Hello Kitty, Snapchat, and CAI. What is CAI? So apparently, CAI app logo on Rich's phone does indeed match the logo for Character AI app, which also includes a virtual girlfriend feature, which, as Darksy says, fucking yikes, this is beyond sad. Dating app, Hello Kitty, Snapchat, girlfriend feature AI. Check his hard drives, that's all I'm saying, check his hard drives. Then apparently, to get ready for June the King documentary, he was live streaming on Instagram. We have John Riley. RTU is now trying to retcon how much time he's been spending on Elden Ring. He states that he had the game open on another computer. See, he wasn't playing it, he just had it open on another computer. That's why there's so much time. Laughing my ass off, you lie about everything, Rich. And we have a video here too.
Where did I play Elden Ring for 150 hours in the past 2 weeks? What account are you looking at that I played Elden Ring 150 hours in the last 2 weeks? Unless, I know why. When I went to go actually play it, it said there was another account that you were in. I may have left it on a title screen somewhere, but I have not. I just beat I could show you where I am. So, yeah, Dylan, who fucking cares? Even if I played 6,000 hours, but I didn't. Like, I think, is that Nate? Yeah, dude, you could leave a computer on for Dylan, if I played 600 hours, what the fuck does it matter? Dylan, don't give me parenting advice, dude. You don't even know what's going on in my life or how things work. And I didn't play the fucking game. Why do people feel like they can do this? Can I ask a question?
And then we have Darksy with the...
Wow.
You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I'm going to go first. So, let me get this straight, Rich. So you're telling me you turned the game on another monitor or on another computer entirely. Okay, Slug. Being weirdo over there with the computers. And just, you booted up the game, right? You put it into the game and you just let it sit there? Were you benchmarking something? Like, are you going to add any other context? No? Just gonna bitch about how people are gonna bitch about you parenting. I mean, it happens all the time with everybody. I've got friends that get bitched at all the time about the way they raise their kids, and you know what they say? They ain't your kid, so fuck off. They don't go on for hours and hours and hours about and threaten to kill people and this and that and the other. Go ahead, RJ.
Well, I had two big points to make. First, about the AI girlfriend. He is the first one in all of his live streams when he starts to get criticism. He tells people to go get laid, go touch grass, go talk to a woman. And we find out this dude has an AI chat girlfriend. That's pathetic. He probably literally hasn't been laid since his last kid was born. And that is the truth. He may have 3 kids, but he is the true definition of an incel right now. Also, my second point, when it comes to the Elden Ring stuff, yeah, he's bitching about people tracking his hours and stuff. Oh, wait a minute, Rich. Like, you track DSP's WWE Championship transactions, or try to? It is the pot calling the kettle black. This man is a walking hypocrite. That's all I had to say about that.
There's no arguing with that one. How can you argue with that? Anyhow, let's continue on with the video.
Here, Rich is on stream right now denying again he played 155 hours of Elden Ring in a span of 2 weeks. This dude is spending so much energy trying to debunk something that we've repeatedly provided receipts for. And he shows a screenshot, the Horseman, which is RTU's profile, 155.7 hours past 2 weeks. Then, this is a very interesting point. So apparently this is a comment that was left on one of Rich's recent live streams. Wouldn't his ex-daughters also have access to all that porn since it was all together in a folder for them to get their photos back when they got new phones? Wouldn't they log in and see all of it? I doubt they downloaded every picture they wanted back right away. And if it's like Google Photos, you just leave it on the cloud and access it when you want to see a photo. They might also go back to look at old photos for nostalgia. Well, unless nobody has access to it, but Rich, and that's also a bit odd. Now the other thing too is, if these underage teenage girls are able to get into that folder and see porn, wouldn't that be a crime? Because you as an adult is given access to minors' pornography. That seems like it would be a crime. Again, I don't know anything about American law, but...
Yeah, that's not a crime. I'm sorry to say, but unless you're giving explicit...
that seems criminal. Then we get to the documentary, and just to show you how well it's doing so far, so Wings of Redemption,
why did the thumbnail on the documentary change?
468,000 views in 8 months. Review Tech USA, a rich history of failure.
It didn't change. It's where it paused it.
387,000 views in 19 hours. And how did RTU spend?
Oh, it must have. Real quick, I forgot. YouTube sometimes changes the thumbnail, especially if if the thumbnail is considered too big, or if they hadn't finished rendering it to fit into the aspect ratio. I forgot about
I think
that.
What I seen on there, he paused it where he was in the documentary, so it wasn't showing the actual thumbnail. It was showing where he paused. Like where bad moments in Lolka history was paused in the documentary, if that makes sense.
Oh, it's possible, or because he could have, or whoever it was that was watching it, because there was a screenshot of someone watching it, and then it may have been Darkside Flow. Because sometimes if you put your mouse wheel like over the top of another video, it will start playing it, and it will give you like the subtitles, and that's probably what happened. And I was like, what happened to the thumbnail? I was like, the thumbnail looked great. Did June just give up on the thumbnail suddenly? Did Jay threaten to sue him over the thumbnail?
No.
Although that would have been kind of funny if that happened. I would have died laughing. I would have died laughing if he threatened to sue him over the thumbnail.
Jesus.
What's
about to happen?
Oh, I've seen this video, and this made me gag when I saw this.
Dream, of course, taking edibles. Now, I'm not sure if these are the same ones, but recently, he's gone from 100 to 500 milligram gummy edibles to 5,000 milligram edibles. And in this clip, he's going to take 2 of them. So if it is those 5,000 milligram gummies, potentially he's taking 10,000 milligrams here.
Look at this is CHC going down the hole. Go on. Not dumb.
What the
Pot
fuck?
is going in. Amy Celeste, my favorite ladies in the chat. What's good? Oh, Amanda,
God, this feels like a bad porno song.
you have no idea what you missed.
So, from what I understand from what I've researched about the bag, each gummy is like 100 milligrams. From what I understand, the reason why it was like 5,000 because there's like a whole bunch of gummies in it.
Yeah.
At least from like the research I did on it. So that's why he's not actually eating 10,000 milligrams like that, because you would kill yourself. You would die from an overdose.
So, a few things. First of all, I think that explicit drug use on stream, I don't know if it's against YouTube policy, but it needs to be.
It's not currently.
Do you agree?
It's not currently,
It's
but
not
I do
currently.
agree that
he's
explicit drug use like
100%.
that should not be a thing. But good luck convincing YouTube on that one.
He's explicitly using edibles on screen and getting completely baked out of his freaking gourd right here. I mean, we got Father of the Year over here. We got, Content Creator of the Year over here getting completely just wrecked in front of everybody and taunting the audience while he does it. But then when you call him out for it, saying, I'm not a drug user, we just seen you. So.
Well, not only that, but I also personally think a lot of like the drinking streams shouldn't be a thing either. But
Yeah.
good luck.
Well, moderation. Everything in moderation, but this guy he's an addict. There is no other way to say it. When people say you can't get addicted to weed, he's the proof you can.
Amen. Anyhow, let's
Yep.
continue. Good Lord. I'll put it this way: you can get addicted to anything, because anything that's like weed or even soda with hold on, let me go full screen real quick. Even soda with caffeine in it, you can get addicted to. Oh, by the way, this video is sponsored by Dr. Pepper.
I'm caffeined up right now, man.
That didn't sound right. For a moment, I thought it was fucking. I legitimately thought of Hulk Hogan just fisting you with a capsule. of caffeine.
Let me tell you something, brother. I'm here to roast for VTech.
And I'm instead roasting you. What the hell?
I'll roast myself. I can laugh at myself.
Then even
continue.
June had jokes about RTU's Netflix-style documentary. where
Oh,
he said
yeah,
in the video,
I died laughing
it was
at this part.
unfortunate it was released on April 1st, indicating that people thought it was an April Fool's joke. So one thing that was revealed in the documentary, and I didn't
Oh yeah, where he was like Netflix quality. It was pretty much anything but Netflix quality. When I first heard that line, I died laughing. That was so funny. That was it.
This is when Rich realized he couldn't edit anymore.
Yep. That was the moment Rich realized that he made garbage content and he had to quit.
Yeah.
It's gonna get worse. Well, this part I've seen this post before, so I want to go ahead and give my thoughts real quick of it. I saw this. I died laughing when I read the last line. Because as soon as I first saw this clip of Jay and RTU's documentary, things started to make a lot more sense about Jay. I died laughing when I read that, and I was one of the guys that liked it right there. I was one of them that liked it and bookmarked it for future reference.
I'll say Dark Sea to Flow. Dark Sea to Flow is awesome on Twitter. He's funny. Go follow him.
Like sometimes I don't agree with his opinions, but when he posts up stuff like this, I just often just find myself laughing so hard.
Wait till you see this clip, guys. Jay sounds like he literally has autism right here.
Oh, come on! Autism is not an insult.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying he sounds like he has it right here.
It's you know what I think he has. I think he just hasn't had enough gay butt sex. That's what it is. I just don't think he's had enough of it, and that's why he's so sad and so upset all the time. And like, if he got more gay butt sex from Rich, he'd be okay.
Oh wait, I thought you said it because you're saying the offer's on the table.
Well, I mean, if he's willing to pay me enough.
Whoa, buddy.
Everybody's got a price.
Not me. $5,000
I'm gonna so get.
US.
I know once 2 Cents is gonna watch this, and he's gonna get so fucking pissed.
My message to the JKB members, of which I am no longer a JKB member. You all take things a little too seriously sometimes. Let's sit back and try to relax your anus.
Let's continue.
This is how influential Jay has been to RTU's career even before he was his editor. When Jay was part of 3KB, he's the reason that RTU got all the momentum to build up his channel. Because I believe they said at one point, 80% of the subscribers that Rich got were from Jay and his channel. And then we have Darksy here. As soon as I saw the first clip of Jay and June's RTU doc, things started to make a lot more sense about Jay.
And I'm Jason for 3 kilobytes. My last name is Hoof, and I like to build houses in Minecraft.
Then we have Kinda Sav.
Couldn't have possibly said it any gayer even if he wanted to. Couldn't possibly have said it. That was like the gayest one. The only thing that could have made it even gayer is if he wore a tutu and started dancing and parading around, doing like doing the electric boogaloo. It's the only way that could have got even gayer at that point. Oh fuck. Oh, Jay's gonna hate me after this one. If Jay doesn't already hate me, he's gonna hate me after this. He'll be like, fuck you, don't talk to me again, ass clown. Oh, let's continue.
The original tweet from RTU when he was fighting with the detractors on Twitter 2 or 3 times ago, where he says, "This is the whore that just talks shit about my daughter for clout," and shows picture of Kinda Sav. Now she has receipts for RTU from June's documentary. Remember the time you actually doxed an innocent child, LOL? Then she shows a screenshot from the doc. RTU tweets out, "Add RTU critic. I'll make sure to add that pic of your kid to the docs too. Let's make this one good."
Ooh.
Then we have the weed.
Gonna pause it real quick. Ooh. When I saw that, I went, because I vaguely remembered hearing about that, and I was like, oh, that's kind of fucked up. But like when I saw that, I was like, in the context of the situation, I was like, that's even more fucked up. Like, look, don't get me wrong, I can understand wanting to get back at your detractors, but Jesus Christ, man, why the kids?
Again, Rich is a piece of shit, but what the thing I want to keep hammering home is he's just a hypocrite also, because he gets so upset anytime someone talks about his bad parenting of his kids and takes it or tries to twist it as a shot at his kids when it's not. It's a shot at him parenting his kids. But then he actually goes out and wants to dox a child and then tries to sweep it under the rug. But luckily, the June the King documentary and Kino Casino exposed this piece of shit, this hypocrite, for what he truly is, which is a self-serving, maniacal asshole.
Just like DSP said it, and that's one of the few things I don't think I would have ever have said in my entire lifetime, that DSP actually got it right. I would have, not in a million freaking years would I would have ever thought that someone like DSP would be like, yeah, this is what this guy actually is, and it is clearly shown.
Yes.
It's fucking believable. And it's so sad too. By the way, I'm going to do a reaction to that, to Rich's live stream of his documentary where he was going over it, because I want to say a few things about some of the things he was talking about. Because I'm like, to me, he's like, he added some extra context that had he added at the beginning of all these dramas, you know, it would have went much better for him. But I've noticed that
I
he
don't
tends
really
to
care
hold
what
back.
I
The
don't really
point.
care what Richard say. He's been here this whole time. He's lied the whole way through, and anything he adds, you have to take it with a grain of salt. He's trying to sweep it up. He's trying to massage the situation, and until he does the actual things to try to improve his life with actual receipts, you have to treat him just like you would treat Boogie 2988. Like, you need to not give him benefit of the doubt. You have to give him no benefit whatsoever going forward. That is my opinion.
The point I was going to hammer on was that I'm noticing that it's like you're leaving out details and only adding them when you're absolutely in a bad situation. So it tells me one of two things: either you're not telling the whole truth right off the bat, or you're lying about everything. It's one of the two, and neither one looks good. Because if you're omitting the truth, parts of the truth, that's still a lie by omission, meaning that you're essentially telling a lie by not telling the whole truth.
Well, quite often he will, his own, and by his own admission, he says something that, and then he'll delete it, and then later on it will come out, yeah, you did say this, and then he'll just ignore the evidence and he'll claim you're taking him out of context. And it's like, motherfucker, the context is you. You were the context. These were your tweets, you know, saying that you're going to bash RTU Critic, you're going to dox him and whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, the context is you being the one who's saying these things and doing these things. It's you. It's not anybody else. But anyhow, let's continue on, because I think I know where these clips are going, and I remember hearing these, and I was like, because I think this is where I got that idea from, was from these clips. I could be wrong.
Who shows off some of the cope that R2 showed during his react of the doc.
So look, you manipulated the...
Yeah, that was fun. I was like, yeah, what's the big deal? It's just like, I really thought it was okay. I really thought it was okay to just mirror someone's content. I really did. With that, I really did.
Like, right there, I wanted to believe that he was actually admitting to it.
I'm not cocking, Keemstar. I realize now, as a slightly smarter person, that was really dumb. Listen, I don't want your balls in my mouth. I just learned and realized that was stupid.
To be fair, you're not supposed to mirror other people's content.
I would never make these choices now. I would never fall for any of that shit. I would never, like, I do the back and forth shit posting, but do you think there was a guy, I used to sit there for days with him trying to find stuff to give to the police. See, more information you could. I'm roasting myself here, June. And I think back to that, dude. You could, instead of wasting your energy on this fucking loser, you could have been working. You could have been hanging out with your at the time girlfriend, but instead you were sitting on Skype with another man, trying to find another man in a different country. That even if you do find him to give stuff to the authorities, they're just gonna go, oh, from a different country, can't do anything. I was dumb.
Yeah, he was dumb. Well, not only that, but
He'll admit.
Go ahead.
I would say he'll admit to some stuff to try to save face and make people think, look, guys, I'm changing, or I understand I did these things wrong. But he doesn't take the whole shebang. He doesn't take the whole fault for everything. You'll watch and see he'll excuse some things, and some things he thinks he's lost his point on, he'll concede. It's a very common Boogie manipulator tactic.
Well, that tends to be the truth with most people like that, at least in my experience. Not only that, but what else? I just, you know, it just never made sense to me. It never made sense why you would hire somebody to go after somebody in our country like that. Like, I get it, wanting to get information to one up the guy and prove that he's an asshole and everything, but why not just do it through the videos? Be like, see, look, he's just taking things, he's spinning the narrative as he wishes to. So at the end of the day, these people are not worth your time watching, because all they're going to do is spin the narrative. So if you want to know the truth, come to me. Otherwise, don't worry about it.
Well, wait a minute. What's he gonna do with this info? Like, that's the part people forget about. Is like, okay, yeah, he's looking for info, but where is Rich from his own mouth saying why he wanted the info? What's the truth? Oh, is it to try to scare the guy? Or is it to try to hack the guy? Or is it try to ruin this guy's career like he promised to ruin Jay's real life career?
And it makes you wonder if this wasn't it makes you wonder if this wasn't the Jay thing wasn't the first time around that he did something like this. It makes you wonder. It really does.
He's always been.
Then also, I didn't need to know that Jay sent him nudes. That was something else I didn't need to know. I didn't need to know that. And that adds way more context to a line that I will bring up later in the video. But let's continue.
Dumb. I was stupid. I had the etiquette of a fucking squirrel.
The etiquette of a squirrel.
Final Fantasy XIV review.
What's the story? There is not a video essay or documentary where anyone can be talked about, whether they're a lolcow like me or Keemstar's there somehow, some way. He's there. He's probably making a coffee upstairs in my house.
And that is quite rich of him.
I will say that is true. Almost every documentary I've ever watched ever, Keemstar has found his fucking way in there somehow. With any YouTuber, name any YouTuber, Keemstar's found his way in there. Even with Markiplier stuff, Keemstar somehow gets his way in there. I'm like, what the fuck, is Keemstar pay all these YouTubers?
Well, when it comes to Keemstar, he gets involved in so many things. That's why I recently released a 40-minute retrospective on Keemstar. It's on my channel if you guys check it out at Game News USA. I go over a lot of Keemstar's history, and it's crazy. He's just so involved with everything going on with the internet that it was worth looking into, and there's a lot of stuff I found out about Keemstar. It's very interesting, so y'all can go check that out if you want some more context of what Review Tech is talking about.
Yeah, because like this is one of the few things that me and RJ will both agree with Rich when it comes to this, is that Keemstar fucking finds his way into everything, I swear. And as far as like your retrospective, I was watching part of it, and I was not aware of some of the groups that he was involved in, because some of the groups I actually hated it back then. So having that particular context, sorry, I'm a little itchy. Having that context, it's weird. I'm probably having a reaction to whatever, because I'm trying out a new body soap. Because it's supposed to be smoother for my skin, and I think I'm not having a good reaction to it.
No, it's just you watching Rich. It just makes your skin crawl.
I didn't even think about setting up for that one. That was great. Let's continue.
He's learned his lessons, but as you can see, he has not learned any lessons, whether it be Big Cheese or Jay repeating history, or him doxing RTU Critic and other people, and then him trying to dox Jay again, and Sexy Coco and all these other people. He doesn't learn. He pretends to learn, but he keeps the cycle over and over again. This man will never learn. His career is done. And another thing he does is he makes fun of Phil for the way he says words or phrases. So guess what? We have one now on RTU. So it's supposed to be fair, but Rich tries to be Flair. You know, like the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Woo!
To be Flair, I don't remember now.
By the way, for the audience members, I've never watched this video before, never seen anything about it, and I nailed that. Woo! Because I watch too much wrestling. Anyhow, let's continue.
Like June said, I showed the receipt. I think it was to like St. Jude's. If it wasn't, I definitely donated money. I showed it on camera to prove it in a YouTube video. Is the YouTube video still up? I don't know, but I did. To be fair, I actually have another Steam Deck XL, Stream Deck, excuse me. So there will be more sounds, so you don't lose your mind. Yeah, to be fair, yeah, I've made a lot of mistakes, man. I agree with you. All right, so to be fair, do me a favor, call the cops on a fake dox that I did about a decade ago now, and let's see how it goes. I encourage you to do so.
That's right. All of my delusions of grandeur. Oh no, my delusions of grandeur.
Grandeur. Yeah, I was hoping DSP was being sarcastic the first time he said that. Nope, he thinks it's grandeur, not grandeur. He calls grandeur illusions of grandeur. He says it as grandeur. To be fair.
Then in one section, they covered how the group Does It Play and Rich had a beef going on with Does It Play stated the games can be played without patches. They will still be bugs and crashes and all this other stuff, but they are playable without day one patches. And Rich himself said, no, that's not true. And then said, I'll give $2,000 if you can prove me wrong. And they did. And he got angry about that and paid it to charity. But then went back on that when Jay posted that Mario RPG needed an update because that was the game that proved Rich wrong. And because of that patch, Rich declared that he was right all along and he's a proud supporter of them now, sarcastically saying. But guess what? Even in 2024, during this documentary, he fights it again and declares he is correct and he is right.
Like they said that Cyberpunk 2077 for the 8th gen consoles, they considered it playable without patches. You get what I'm saying?
For example, they consider Cyberpunk 2077 for the PS4, or just in any case in its original state, playable. This is what they wrote on their website. It is still completely possible to finish the game unpatched, although it is highly recommended to not even attempt it unless you want an extreme patience test. So why would you say to people that this game is playable without patches and without updates?
Well, to be fair to Rich on this one, to be fair, woo! I'm going to say that from now on. Instead of to be fair, I'm going to say to be flair. Woo!
Yes.
To be flair to Rich. Woo! People are going to hate me for that one. They do say on the website playable, but then they turn around and tell you you should wait for an update. So, which one is it? Wait for the update or play it? Which one? It can't be both.
So, what I was going to say is this is actually one of the few things in the documentary that I kind of wasn't even thinking about or didn't even really remember or realize, even though it wasn't that long ago, about this Does It Play situation. Because to me, this is just another example of Rich opens mouth, insert foot, because there are plenty of games that do play without any patches or updates. And he really made the mistake by not excluding Nintendo from that, because Nintendo has a ton of games that will play without patches and updates. It's just another example of him talking out of his ass, thinking he knows better than anybody else. But in reality, he just doesn't get his facts right. And he owed them $2,000, and he's very salty about having to pay that. And to this day, defends it because he doesn't want to recognize that he was wrong about something. Even though he already recognized earlier he was wrong about things, he still wants to stand his ground on something he's clearly incorrect about and trying to spin it in a way that makes it seem like he was actually right all along, probably because he needs that $2,000 back.
It was like, as far as like the Nintendo thing, that's something I would have said, because like, look, they own the they're like Apple, they own the hardware and the software, so of course their shit's gonna work on day one with no problem. I'm talking about the Windows logic of completely different corporations, third parties making games for this first party system. So you go to me, you find one that can't be played without a patch, day one patch, and then we'll talk. Like, we're not talking about like games that came out years ago. We're talking about like months ago. And then come back to me, and then we'll see. Because if you did that, I would be like, okay, yeah. If they used Nintendo, I'd be like, okay, well, yeah, you didn't use the correct thing because you already stated Nintendo. Because we all know that Nintendo stuff is going to work right off the bat because they are very meticulous about making sure their stuff works right off the bat. However, when it comes to other games, that tends to be questionable.
That's all true. I would say in general, though, this doesn't play stuff in the documentary was the most boring part to me. And I think it easily could have been replaced by the whole scandal where Rich was donating to charity and then got mad at his own audience and called them virgin losers. Like, I would have put that in the documentary and that rant in the documentary instead. In fact, in Rich's stream, he actually brings that up himself and self-felts himself for no reason. And it just is more ammo that could be aimed towards Rich. And I think this doesn't play drama I don't really care. I'm ready to move on from that if you are.
Yeah, I'll add one final thing. I would have had both of them in there to be like, this is like this is I would have had like real quick. I would have had like a little section where I would be talking to the audience. So I want to bring this point up to show you guys how he handles dealing with donations if he loses any sort of bets or any sort of gambles, because he's like, this man often takes bets against his audience members and his detractors, and he loses. This is what happens, and then bring this stuff up, because then now you got a gotcha. It's like, this is how you handle donating to charities like this. Well, no wonder why people don't have much respect for you. But anyhow, like you, I am ready to move on, so let's move on.
Strike one!
Then we have an AI chat summary. Viewers are discussing and reacting to a recent event involving a person called Dickers and a YouTube streamer. Some viewers are criticizing the streamer for his appearance and behavior. Then during the doc, they showed off the section where he showed off his flag history, proven that R2 actually flagged people down, and now, in 2024, he now admits that he flagged down Anna Doyle's channel and it got struck. But then he goes on to say that they deserved it.
Flag him once. I wasn't even the one who got his channel taken down.
Rich had lied. He did in fact flag Anna Doyle, aka Review Hell
That was under a different account, though. I don't think it was the Anna Doyle account.
USA. What's more, with Rich exposed,
doesn't matter. But fuck him. I don't apologize for flagging him. He can eat shit.
Star saw the opportunity to dig the knife in further and see.
Then at this point, DSP and Kino Casino started their reaction to June the King, and Review Tech USA Parody puts this out.
Right here.
I had something to say about this flagging history bullshit.
Go run ahead.
I think what's flying under the radar is Rich has said so many times that he would consider flagging June's video down. And I think, he got exposed by Keemstar for all the flagging that he did. And it was just scrolling upon scrolling upon scrolling of people that he flagged left and right. Anybody who criticizes him, he flags them down. That's just a fact. And here's the thing. This is what we all need to do. Everybody needs to be pressuring Rich to show his flagging history. It's been 5 to 6 years since we've last seen it. And we know for a fact, with everything going on, and including the June documentary that he threatened, that he has threatened channels and he has been flagging channels. And we need to see the receipts on it. And if he refuses to show his flagging history, everybody needs to know that this motherfucker is guilty of being a false flagging piece of shit.
Absolutely. the stories I've heard of the people that I've met that lost their channels because of it, lost content that they've worked hard on, and the fan bases they built just wiped away because he didn't like their opinions. Makes me wonder if he's flagged my content as well. Although I haven't gotten anything from it. I hadn't heard anything from YouTube. So far,
He probably tried.
I'm sure either him or one of his dents probably flagged me. But then again, YouTube obviously hasn't done anything. I guess they either consider my content not significant enough to take a look at, or they just don't care. Who knows, really? And as far as I'm concerned, it's quite disingenuous to lie about flagging and turn around and get busted for it. Disingenuous, in my opinion.
Well, he can't complain when other people flag him now, since he flags so many others.
Oh yeah, but you know he will.
He abuses the copyright system. But then he complained when supposedly somebody else was going to copyright him about the bird footage. Well, at least that person, if you believe Rich is even telling the truth, at least that person contacted Rich first before trying to flag it and get the issue resolved. Rich doesn't even do that for others. He just immediately goes to the flagging. He's also a ban happy pussy.
Him and a couple other people that I know of. Just a moment, like you, ban.
I know I'm blocked on Twitter, and I also can't comment on any review tech video, and I can't show up in a chat at any review tech video. And all I did was throw some mild criticism at him. So now he's getting the heavy hitting criticism. Let's go.
Which is funny because I've criticized the hell out of him quite a bit, and yet I've showed up in his chat a lot, and he follows me on Twitter, so it's just
I know how to get under his skin, I guess. Whenever he said something like, "Oh, I was never married. Who was I ever married to?" Well, I went ahead and just said the full name of the person that he was supposedly married to, and then I got blocked again, even though I've been blocked multiple times from different accounts.
It's like, really, Rich?
Hey, he asked. He said, "Who was this? Who was this?" I answered it. All I did was answer his question.
It's so stupid. He's just so incredible. Just incredibly stupid. Anyhow, let's continue on with... so stupid. Anyhow, let's continue on with the video.
Started their reaction to June the King, and Review Tech USA Parody puts this out. Damn, DSP just made over $1,500 in the first few minutes of his RTU stream. RTU, you okay, buddy? Now the doc is done. He's seen everything. So what is the fun?
Speaking of, I was actually there for the DSP stream, and that was crazy watching that. That was crazy. I feel like DSP knew more about him than he was letting on, though. I really think he didn't.
Yeah. DSP's the guy that always says, "I don't know none of this drama. I don't know anything that's going on," but he knows an awful lot. And watching that stream was absolutely pure comedy gold to see all that money flooding in and the detractors getting upset. And it reinvigorated Phil. He's like a new man now.
Oh yeah, he changed. He really did change. They did something I didn't think was possible. They changed him. Or is it possible? Or is it possible this has always been hiding underneath, and Phil's just never had an opportunity to show it because he was afraid that if he tried pulling it off, everybody and their brother would turn against him?
I know this. Phil compared to Review Tech. I mean, Review Tech's so much worse than Phil. Every time that Review Tech tries to act like, "Well, I'm not like Phil," you're right, Rich. You're not like Phil. You're way worse than Phil. I don't remember Phil doxing a child. I don't remember Phil hiring Shadow's government and threatening people. I don't remember him spurging out on chat and getting high and not taking care of his kids, where his mom walks in the room and asks him to get off stream and he refuses. I don't remember Phil yelling at people for donating to charity. And I certainly don't remember any of those things that Phil did. All he did was whack off on stream, and no one even seen what was going on downstairs. Meanwhile, you got Rich over here constantly taking his shirt off and embarrassing himself.
Sucking on cucumbers or kissing chickens.
Yeah.
And like, cause like, as far as to my knowledge, at least from Turkey Tom, basically Phil tends to be like the person who gets easily upset at video games and blames everything but himself when it comes to playing. When he's terrible at video games, he'll blame everything else. I'm like, well, that's a typical gamer right there for you. I don't know what you want me to do. He allegedly snaked a couple of people, but that's from Phil's mouth. However, there's not much corroborating those stories. I was like,
well, Phil can't be too bad at video games if he beat Elden Ring.
Yeah, I mean, Phil's also right. Eventually, I think, in my opinion, should retire eventually, because you can't keep playing games forever.
And Phil did place for, I know it was a long time ago, but he was fourth in like a Street Fighter tournament, like the top American at one point. I mean, he's good at video games. You know, and I'm not here to, this is not the defend Phil hour. I'm just saying that Phil compared to Review Tech is like comparing Wings to Boogie. One is way worse than the other. They're both lolcows, but Boogie's way worse than Wings, and Review Tech is way worse than Phil. Those are just the facts.
You know, like for Wings, yes, he was a dick. Yes, he flagged people, but on the same token, Wings had every right to flag the people that he did, and most of his was fucked up abuse that he didn't deserve. Whereas Boogie brought a lot of it on himself because he continued to be a lying, manipulating little bastard. Excuse me, fat bastard, instead of just owning it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is not let's defend Darkside Phil show. I'm not here to defend him. I agree with you. It's just Darkside Phil looks better than Rich right now. Although we'll see about that when his documentary comes out. We'll see if the tides will turn again.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because 2024 has been a freaking crazy year.
It definitely has, and definitely the worst year of Rich's life, no doubt.
Oh, no doubt about it. It's probably worse than any other year of his life. But anyhow, let's continue on with this, because I'm sure it's going to get worse.
Verdict from RTU on June the King and his documentary.
I don't agree with that either. I don't see things as grim. I ain't in that defeatist mindset. So,
lots of dead air.
No, it wasn't that bad, dude. It wasn't that
Dead Air King.
I mean, there's a lot that was correct. There was a lot that was correct. I hope no one. That's why, like, when I watch stuff like that, look, everyone. If you're there's, I'm sure there's people that want to believe that even the things that are like, yeah, that's inaccurate. You just want to believe what you want to believe. I'm not trying to sit here and convince you otherwise, but
bullshit.
Yeah, total bullshit on that one.
Banged around like a bull in a china shop with this YouTube stuff.
Okay, so let's pause it right there. I watched that whole live stream. He added things that I was like, and you've known this the whole time, and you never bothered to say a darn thing until now. Really? I'm trying to remember. It was one. It was some. I think it may have been something about the Dropbox. They like added something extra to it, and I was like,
I can't keep up with all the stories when it comes to this Dropbox, man. So all these stories he tells, I honestly just, it's in one ear, out the other for me. He could tell 5 million stories about the Dropbox. You know what story I'm going to believe about the Dropbox? I'm going to believe the first time he told the story and what he said happened, and then look at the BS, like the phone buzzing off the table to hit two-factor authentication, and I'm going to call bullshit. And we'll actually never know the actual full story of the Dropbox. And quite frankly, the only thing I care about when it comes to the Dropbox is, well, he brought it up himself for a reason. What's the reason he would bring it up? He's covering for something else that's even worse, which is his ex finding out that he was looking at those bikini pics. That's the truth.
I go to the idea, even though there wouldn't have been a crime if the kids could see it. My problem is that, first of all, why do you have those pictures? Why didn't you delete them? Why didn't you give them a separate Dropbox or a separate account where they could have those pictures or whatever it was that was supposed to be saved on the phone anyhow on there? Why didn't you make a separate one for that? Why is it connected to yours? Secondly, you told me you got two-factor authentication, so which means that they would have had to have texted you every time they wanted to access that Dropbox. So why was there, even if it is just jokes of BBC on white women, which apparently is what was claimed, I'm not touching it. I'm not touching any of that stuff with a 10-foot pole. If you're telling me that you got porn on there, why are you allowing your what would essentially be your stepdaughters to watch that kind of stuff?
Or have the possibility to accidentally click in there because it's in the same folder, and that's being highly irresponsible.
Because yes, there is no laws currently against that, so sure, you can make that legal argument, but I'm going to make technically through oral, I'm going to make the moral argument. Moral. The key word today, AJ, is moral. If you say moral, you sound smart. Anyhow, if you're going to make that argument, my question to you is, and to myself when I was thinking about it, was, why would they have access to it to begin with? And how did Jay get access to it? Because even if it was logged in, it would still require two-factor authentication because it was from another address, which meant he had to have sent Jay, or some way Jay would have had to have gotten a two-factor authentication that would have let him in.
Well, here's the thing. Regardless of how it ended up, he left the Dropbox app on the computer he sent Jay. He didn't secure his accounts properly. He didn't care to delete all the porn that also went to the Dropbox. He didn't delete the stepdaughter in bikini pics from the Dropbox. He left everything in there for whatever reason, whether he's stoned and forgot, or whether he's stupid, or whether he was trying to set Jay up. Those reasonings, it's all speculation. But the only thing we know is this for sure. He has a guilty conscience about the Dropbox, and it bothers him greatly. That's the point. That's what makes it fishy.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not trying to protect anybody or argue for innocence. Like, I'm just simply laying out for you, the audience members, that while yes, there currently is no laws to protect people from that, and I think there should be, because that's the lawmaker's job, is to protect the innocent from the criminal. There's a reason why morally we don't do that. Because porn, like any other substance, drugs or otherwise, like gambling, is addictive, and it can cause negative side effects. especially to those who are young, whose minds are still developing. So
look, you wouldn't leave like on your computer. Let's say you're on your computer and you're watching porn or whatever. You wouldn't leave that tab of the window open, and then your kid gets on to play a game and they could click over a tab over and see something they shouldn't. You just wouldn't do that as a parent. So Rich adding all this stuff into the same folder where these kids could possibly see this pornography is just highly irresponsible, and that definitely needs to be called out more, for sure. I'm ready to move on if you are.
Yeah, let's move on from that. I just wanted to add that little bit of clarification of where I stand on it, because in the past I've been kind of muddy about it, so now my stance should be more clear. So with that, let's move forward to Phil Feltingham. I was about to say Philippingham, but that was not going to sound right. That was not going to come off right.
RTU's final thoughts on June the King. Now, let's hear from DSP on his final thoughts on June the King documentary and Dickers himself.
For 10 years of you fucking with me and making my life miserable for your personal gain, I'm taking your final chip as the king's tax, you motherfucker. You're fucking felted, bitch. Felted. You're done. Because the thing is, even if I left you this fucking chip, you wouldn't improve your life. You had the chance. You never took an opportunity to improve. You insulated yourself from any criticism, but now you've been exposed. You're done. This is my chip, and I'm going to wear this proudly in my fucking background from now on.
The king taking that final chip as the king's.
We all thought it was done there.
Oh, wait, right there.
Yeah, we're going to pause it real quick. When I heard that, I was rolling in the car laughing.
Oh, yeah. What I was going to say is this now replaces Phil's internet moment. Like, Phil's internet moment was him whacking off on May 1st. Now his internet moment is taking Rich's final chip and felting him
as the king's tax. That was just beautifully executed. The joke just worked. Because a lot of the detractors were like, Phil isn't, like, especially Duty Streams, for example, who's been best buddies with Rich, was like, he's not that funny. He can't really do the jokes. I'm like, he literally just tore Rich a new one without having to cuss him out.
I got a message for Duty Streams.
Go right ahead.
You can take this video and you can take this clip and you can put it on a billboard in Times Square, you weirdo. You sit there and you take people's full streams and you upload them to the point that Keemstar has to tell you he's gonna take legal action against you. You're not even a content creator. You just steal other people's content and re-upload them. At least we're reacting to the content, you fucking idiot.
I'm gonna add on to that real quick. You can put on a fucking billboard in Times Square. I fucking hate you. That's right. You can put it on there and say, with Duty smiling, saying, AJ thinks Duty's a cocksucker, and I will stand there taking a selfie, smiling, bitch.
It's time to flush the Duty.
Down the stream. Boom. Felt it. Got hit with a felting belt.
Duty Streams, if you ever want to come on, I'm sure Tim's will be okay with this. Duty Streams, if you ever want to actually talk instead of stealing people's content, you want to debate me and Tim's, and you bring along whoever you want to also that just steals content, which, by the way, I watch and enjoy the content that other people put up on your channel. But if you ever want to come on for a debate about why it's not content stealing, I'll be more than happy to do it. Oh, and by the way, you want to steal my content and put it on your channel, you got full permission. Go ahead, man. Promote me.
And if he wants to steal my content too, he can have fun because most of it has been copyrighted anyhow. So his channel will start getting hit with one right after the other, and I will die laughing.
You can steal my content, duty. I won't hit you with the copyright strike. Promote me. I'm more entertaining in my fucking pinky than your whole body. I'll take your audience for a ride.
I won't just take his audience for a ride. I'll take his audience to the moon and back. I've done it. I've done it to other creators before. I'll do it to you. You're next. Let's continue.
All right.
Hear from one more person, Jay himself. So apparently the whole thing about Jay and RTU making up was all a cover for Jay because he wanted to wait till the documentary to unload a bombshell where he's going to reveal where the IP login from the hack came from.
That I will explain. So number one, when the computer was sent to me.
Oh, I'm going to pause it real quick right here. So I'm going to try to remember to clip it. But I still think about the live stream meeting Casey did where we were just going over the RTU documentary real quick and kind of giving some of our thoughts about some of the dramas because he was not aware of the older ones. He knew of the J stuff. He was not aware of the other ones, and I was in a similar boat, so I was telling him everything I had learned about it and what I understood and gave my thoughts on it. And that's when RJ here popped up, and this video came with it, and I remembered going to bed that night thinking about it. Legitimately, I was thinking about it. I was like, this is all fucking weirdly suspicious, and I kind of feel like there was some kind of setup going on. Like, I feel like Jay was just, he's being cordial because he's trying to set Rich up to take him down. That's what I feel like.
So here's the deal. I probably have a massive disagreement with Jay on this point right here. And that is, there was never any reason to be cordial with Rich, whether it's a play for something or not. There just wasn't. If you had the info about the New York IP address, you didn't have to wait till the day of the documentary to drop it. You actually should have just said it immediately before the documentary, because the documentary somewhat overshadows this news anyway, although it didn't for me. But I don't think Jay should be nice to Rich. I think Rich has tried to fuck him over every step of the way, and you know, they're enemies. Like, there's no cool. Like, there's no even pretending to be cool. I don't know what the deal is with this bromance, but it kind of sickens me, and I'm kind of tired of it. And I really hope that Rich gets caught with what he did with the hack, allegedly. And I hope he actually spends time in prison for doing so.
Like, to go on that bromance, you were telling, and I alluded to it earlier in the recording, but you were telling me about the bromance, and about some of the stuff they had been doing, and I was like, oh, I didn't know they were, like, that explains why Jay was very adamant about their particular type of friendship, because it wasn't a type of friendship that I'm used to.
I was gonna say, Jay, this is the Jay in particular. I still like your stuff. I have no ill will towards you, but at the end of the day, you actually need to cut Rich off entirely. You know, block him like Rich so easily blocks others on Twitter, and just never message the guy again, and let the police do their job and put that man behind bars. That's my only message to him.
And my message is fire once 2 cents.
Ooh. Does he get the dumbass song?
Yes, he is. Because otherwise, and if he doesn't cut Rich off and fire once 2 cents, Jay, I got this message for you. Oh, I know Irish is gonna love the hell out of this, because Irish hates both him and Rich equally. So with that, let's let the video play, and I'm sure Jay's gonna be like, this motherfucker, I'm gonna fucking get him. I'm gonna blame him instead for it. That's right, it's Tim's that did it.
Game News USA at fault.
It's both of their faults. They hacked Rich's computer, and then they hacked me through Rich's computer.
I wish I had his two-factor authentication. If I had that, I'd fucking leak everything. Fuck him.
Oh, I would just be fucking with his phone all day. Like, as soon as he gonna text somebody, he'd get a notification just to fuck with him.
He said someone took his 1099s and his financial information. Bullshit. It would already be posted somewhere.
Oh, yeah. I totally forgot about the whole financial stuff because I was more concerned about the fucking underage bikini pictures. I didn't even think about the financial information.
Yeah, no one has that. If they did, they'd already leak it. Anyway.
Or at least I was making references that they would have it. But anyhow, let's watch the video real quick.
It was supposed to go to Phil, apparently. At least that's what he said in the video. It came to me. We all know what happened with that situation. So now let me jump forward to the hacking situation and how Rich is involved with it. And I'm just being 100% honest. I haven't talked to Rich about this part. The IP address that was listed on that computer was shown on one of his streams. Did he do it on purpose? I don't think he did. Obviously, I don't think he did, but I don't know the answer to that. I'm sure he'll message me or somebody will say that. But the IP address to that computer was shown around the time when he asked people to get dirt on me. And that still bothers me to this day, obviously. And I'll follow that up with saying that due to the investigation that we did on the PC, without getting into super details, Rich has denied it, and I accept that. Fine, he didn't do it. That's 100% fine. I will say this live for the first time ever. IP address came from New York State. So somebody logged into that computer from a New York State IP address into the PC. Is there a possibility it has something to do with the Dropbox? There's a possibility. There's no way to prove any of this stuff. I'm not saying it was Rich. I'm saying that I have solid 110% proof, and Cyril Vapus can come over and look at it himself and show.
And there you have it. The IP that was hacked into Jay's computer came from New York. I wonder who lives in New York that would know Jay, that knows about tech. I wonder who that could be. I also wonder who's the person that's trying to sell their house and go to a different state, possibly with different state laws. I wonder who that could be. But that's how the day went. If you guys like that, click that like, share the video, leave a comment below.
I'm just gonna let them know right now. If Rich did commit that crime, Georgia will work with any state to make sure the felon is properly arrested and sent to the state they're supposed to be prosecuted at. So Rich, if he did commit the crime, is not going to get his ass saved by moving to Georgia.
No,
if anything, he's going to have an even worse time.
Nope. And, I think when Jay says something like, well, Rich said he didn't do it, so I just believe him. I don't know if he's being sarcastic there or if he actually believes that. But if he actually believes Rich didn't do it, I mean, I got some products to sell him. If he's going to be that gullible at this point, like, there is no saving him. Now, if it is like a sarcastic thing, then it's hard for me to know with him anymore, because he's always cool, not cool, not cool with Rich. I have no idea, but I really hope they bust his ass. Like, that would be the best ending possible for everything that's happened, is to bust Rich's ass for hacking. That would be awesome.
Well, I was gonna say, I think I want to believe it's a ruse. I don't know if it is, but I want to believe it, and I probably will not know after this video, because Jay will probably block me everywhere and make a whole bunch of Twitter posts about me. I'm sure he'll spurg out, and then I get more content. And then
he'll spurg out too much.
And then he's gonna blame me for getting hacked.
Yeah, you know what? To kind of end this video, really, why don't we go to my channel and watch the first 2:45 of my latest video? So Duty Streams has something to clip and put on his channel.
Oh yeah, why don't we? But first, you want to rate this video?
Oh yes, I do. I want to say this video is epic.
Epic.
Yep.
And well, you know what? I'll agree with you. Even though I hate this fucker because he called me a creep and a sexual predator with no evidence. Fuck you, bad low-count history. It's an epic video, but fuck you. Anyhow, there you go. Duty can clip that too. Here you go, Duty. Here's one for you as well. Everybody gets one.
Credit good video. He put he had a lot of facts in there. He consolidated everything together in a bite-sized video. So yeah, definitely probably a 9 out of 10 video.
8. I prefer someone adding their extra opinions to it. But anyhow, here you go, Duty. This one's for you. And away we go.
Guys, I come at
see
you
this on my channel, Game News USA.
wishing I had better things to talk about. I come to you guys hoping I can report back on a movie I enjoyed. However, I was sadly mistaken. Instead, I got to see the single worst movie I've ever seen in my entire fucking life today. I saw the new Borderlands movie. A movie that is devoid of passion. A movie with miscasting. A movie that didn't derive anything good from the source material. It looked awful. The CGI was bad. The jokes were lame and fell flat. It wasn't a good comedy. It wasn't a good action movie. It had no redeeming qualities at all. Whatsoever. And I did something in the theater that I've never done in any movie in my entire life. Halfway through the movie, I actually stood up and said, "This fucking sucks," out loud, and walked out of the theater. I went back up to the front desk and asked for a refund. They told me no refunds, and I did not hassle with the service person because it is not their fault. I made a poor purchasing decision going to see this movie. This movie shouldn't be viewed by anyone. If I would never suggest this movie to a single living soul. Why? Because I wouldn't want to destroy human life. I wouldn't want to destroy human life. This movie was awful. Top to bottom, start to finish. I don't know about the finish. I could only stay about halfway through. I was going to lose my fucking mind. Sometimes I like movies that are bad and they're fun to laugh at. Not this one. Not even close. It's bad. Don't watch it. Don't bother. For fuck's sake. This movie is god awful. And as far as I'm concerned, everybody that worked on that movie, from all the mainstream actors who put no effort into it, to the multiple directors they had, the writers, the producers, all the way down to the crewmen, anybody that has their fucking name attached to this garbage can suck my big black mask.
That's it. That's
because
good.
Because I've had...
There you go, and that's exactly how I feel about that. Or I should say that's exactly how RJ feels about that movie. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm going to reserve judgment until I see it. There's a good chance I might do a review of it.
You're a big Borderlands fan, so I think it'll drive you even crazier.
Oh yeah, since I grew up on the games. There's a good chance it might. But with all that being said, Duty, go fuck yourself. And with all that extra being said, thank you so much for watching this video. I want to thank RJ from Game News USA for joining us. Make sure you check out the Borderlands movie review. I watched the whole thing. I died laughing, especially at the mask part. And I muted myself so that way you wouldn't hear me overpowering the video from the laughter. Because literally one of my siblings came down the stairs and was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." Because I was laughing, howling. It was just so hysterical. So again, check the video out. Make sure you check RJ's channel out. Give him a sub. Leave a like I did. And if you want to support my content, make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Make sure so you can stay up to date with all my newest content. If you want to support my channel and be featured in the videos now, you can donate to my Streamlabs at streamlabs.com/themerciful-doctor/tip, and you get your donation will be featured, and you may just find yourself on the next episode if you donate. So that is it.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Everybody needs to check out this guy's drum covers. Holy crap. He has some talent, some musical talent. Not to glaze you too hard here, but man, my favorite band's Avenged Sevenfold. I got a tattoo of them. You did a drum cover of them. Awesome work, man. Keep it up.
I appreciate it. And there was a little challenge you made for me on one of their drum covers, so you expect that one to come up soon.
All right.
And
one last two. Fuck Review Tech USA.
Yep. Fuck Rich. And oh hell, I'm at fuck 1's 2 cents. So, and if you want to join the another way, if you want to join the Discord server and be a member in there and have fun, watch movie nights every Friday night with us, make sure you hit the Patreon. I'm running a sale right now, but that sale is only going to last until September, and it's $2 a month. Afterwards, it's going back up to $5 a month. And make sure you're subscribed, because Horror House Media is coming back with some horror content, because Halloween's right around the corner. And as Sheriff Brackett said, everybody's entitled to one good scare. Until then, this is AJ Timms and
RJ from Game News USA
signing out. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye.